Lesson 5.1, Decimal Notation and Place Value, page number 353 of your text. We're going to start out just doing a little bit of review. Well, a review for maybe a long time ago for a lot of you. I'm going to go ahead and draw some place value lines here. Put a decimal here. Keep going. Do that in purple, and we'll put numbers up here in black. If you can see this decimal okay, let me put an arrow here. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to see on video. Alright, so place value. In the beginning, we started out with place value by everything being to the left of the decimal, and this being the units place value, this being the tens, 100s, and thousands, and continuing on 10,000, 100,000, million, etc. But if I had a number like 341, we would say that is at 300 in the hundreds place value, 40 for tens, and 1 unit. So 341, and we didn't use the word and. We didn't say 341. It was just 341. Now that we're going to add a decimal to the mixture, we're going to say things a little bit different. In fact, the decimal, we are going to use the word and when we are referring to the decimal. So if we have 341.6, you can say 341.6 or 341 and then we will go on with what's on the right. But let's go over what that and is for just a minute. To the left of the decimal, we have units, tens, hundreds, thousands. To the right of the decimal, we do not start out with units. We start out with tenths. Now, what we have here, let me write it out, is 10 with a th, with a ths. And then we have 100s. I'm just going to write the number 100 and put a th. And 1,000, th. And 10,000, th. So whenever we're dealing with the right of the decimal, we put a th on our 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. So tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Okay, you get a tongue twister there as you're doing that. So this would be said as 341 and 6 tenths. Okay? So 341 and 6 tenths, or 341.6. So as you're looking at these, and I'm asking you in the homework to write these out, that's how you would end up writing them. In fact, I would prefer in this assignment to write it as 341 and 6 tenths. If I added, let's say I added a 2 here, you would say 341, one number, and 62 hundredths. Okay? So wherever the last number is, that is the place value you're going to say. If I had an 8 here, that would be 341 and 628. You just say the number, 628, as if this didn't exist. Thousandths. So try saying thousandths with a th. A little bit difficult, but 341 or 341 and 628 thousandths. Okay, if I added a 4 here, 341 and 6,284 10,000ths. So that's how you would say those numbers that we have there. If I'm going to write them in words, I would write them the same way that you say them. Everything to the right of the decimal means that whatever's to the right of the decimal is going to be less than 1. So 0.6, that 6 is 6 tenths, written as 6 over 10. Wherever the numerator is less than the denominator, its value is less than 1. So everything to the right. 6,284. Let me erase some of this, get it out of the way here so you can see what I mean. 6,284 is going to be over 10,000. So you can see 6,284 is less than 10,000. So this, which is everything to the right of the decimal, is less than 1. And one of the ways to help, if you're not showing these here, it's like, okay, so what does this decimal go over? Well, whatever number you have, 6,284, we have 4 digits there. That means on the bottom we have 4 zeros. Okay? And it will always be a 1 followed by however many digits we have on top. So if this was 628, it would be over 3 zeros with a 1 in front of it. Always a 1 in front of it. Always the same number of zeros as numbers up here. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. If this were 008, this 8 is in the 10, hundreds, thousands position. So it's the number 8 over, because we are 3 digits over, 3 unit place values over, it's going to have 3 zeros, even though there's 1 actual number. So when you get the zeros in front of everything, it doesn't really change, but the concept looks a little different. So 1, 2, 3 place values, 1, 2, 3 zeros. If I had something like this, I have my number 1 over 1, 2 place values, 2 zeros with a 1 in front of it. Always, again, a 1 in front of it. So this is 1/100ths. All right. So that is a real quick and easy way to look at decimals. What we're going to do now on page 355 is converting between fractions and decimals. There are times where you are given a fraction and you need to convert it to a decimal. There's some times where you're given a decimal and you need to convert it to a fraction. So in this particular lesson, we're just going to take a decimal and convert it to a fraction. And we'll go the other way in another section. Alright, all we're going to do is write that just like I said earlier. This is 1, 2, 3 place values over. So I know I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 zeros with a 1 in front of it. The only number I have the 0, 0, but if the 0, 0 is to the left of a number, you don't even put it on there. So we just have a 4. So we have 4 over 1,000. So that's the decimal written as a fraction. If I have 3.64, well, the number to the left of the decimal is a whole number. It's not a fraction. It's not less than 1. The numbers to the right of the decimal are less than 1, so they have to be written as a fraction. So I write 64. I have two digits, so I have 2 zeros. And I have 3 and 64 1/100ths. Now later we'll be reducing those, but at this point, just being able to see what's happening there. 25.4936. As a fraction, that's 25, because to the left of the decimal is a whole number. And then we write 4936 over 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros with a 1 in front of it. So we have 25 and 4,936 10,000ths. All right. So that is it for 5.1a. On 5.2b that we'll start with, we're just going to do a little bit on 356 on rounding decimals, and then we'll go over some on the problem set.